Well, hey Sagittarius, how is everything? Gang, gang. Sagittarius, today we are looking at the full moon, which is actually happening tomorrow, but we're going to feel it till November. I mean, not the way we feel it right now, but the energy is going to be energying until November, because that is when it all happens again with Pluto and Capricorn. Yeah, it's big, Sag. It's big. So this may be a big culmination since it's at 29 degrees. This is a chapter closing. And the work we do now is pretty important if you follow the astrology at all. And just FYI, I'm not an astrologer. It has been telling us that we are culminating a 16-year karmic lesson, or, karmic path. So since 2008. So, I mean, you could look back and see what that's been about. You could be coming full circle, but we're definitely ending a chapter. It's interesting because this is very much for Sagittarius. Like, the messages I was getting from the moon is that, this may be really affecting you in your relationships. I know everything's not about love, but there are new relationships coming towards Sagittarius. You have the day moon, and it's just interesting how much here is about phases and the full moon and all of that, because we are using these new moonology cards, right? And this is all about the lessons that you've learned in love since then, and that could be because there are new relationships coming towards you. Even, it kind of is a sign that new love is coming towards you. Now, that could be romantic love. It could be just relationships in general. So there's a lot coming up because we know Pluto is working us over, right? So we're really going to feel it. So we are really confronting shadow. And we don't like to hear that, right? But it's all to transform. So, if you are knee deep in your emotions, just know that that is part of it. And I can tell you, for me personally, I have been, a lot has been coming up for me in relationships. But it's very interesting because it sits in my 10th house. So where you have Capricorn sitting in your chart, that can be where it's reflected, right? For me, in the 10th house, that has to do with public image and how I work and stuff like that. Usually the 10th house has to do with work itself, but I actually think it's how I work within relationships. Now, that could be work relationships with the public, how the public sees me. But for Sagittarius, I feel like one of the central themes for you is standing up for yourself. And that your needs are important, Sag. Because Sagittarius is one of those signs that really very much helps people. Much like can be to our own detriment, can be too much, just like Libra. And we're most definitely feeling the Libra South Node. And I think for Sagittarius, the one thing that happens, and that this may be, you're learning to coexist with others more and to allow for them to help you as well, which is why the Three of Pentacles has shown up in our reading, Sagittarius, for over a year. It's been very much a central theme, and I think it's not what you think it is. Like, the Three of Pentacles often is just working together or having what you do recognized, and I feel on some level, Sagittarius helps other people and doesn't put themselves in that. So, you know, this is you standing up for yourself because you've learned some really powerful lessons about that, about not having your needs met. Because I feel on some level, Sag, y'all can disagree with me, but it's also what sets you apart from other people. Not makes you special or anything, but it creates a, even though you go out of your way to help people even when they don't ask you to, right? Or to do everything, or, you know, you're out here and you're doing everything for people and not asking for your needs to be met as well. And what winds up happening is it creates this lone wolf withdrawal energy because you're not being, because essentially that, because your needs aren't being met, but, you know, maybe there's a need, and there has been a need for you to say, hey, here I am, you know, I need shit too, right? Right? Maybe there's, and maybe people don't know, Sag, but I feel like this is one of the things that makes you pull away from people as well. You know, it's kind of like we want to be helped and then we get mad because people, you know, because of the help. And so I feel like this is, you have learned to stand up for yourself in relationships, right? And possibly, you know, or even learning how to let people help you too. You know, like even in my own friendships and stuff, I find that I haven't asked for it. You know, I'll be there to help other people. We can talk about your stuff, you know, and then I get mad when people just come to me looking for help. But that was the dynamic I set up because I didn't share. I wasn't showing up in terms of letting people know what I needed too. And so I feel like that is changing. And sometimes, it means we have to stand up for ourselves. You know, I think Sagittarius has this tendency as if it's not getting done, I'm just going to do it myself. Which definitely creates this, I think we have a big lone wolf energy, Sag. I really do. And so, you know, you might want to write out about everything you've learned in this regard. You know, the times in which, you know, you feel people didn't show up for you. Did you speak up? Did you say, hey, I need this, right? Food for thought. Because look at this. Wow. Because this is exactly there in terms of what would help, is that you're being more vulnerable, Sag. The divine feminine, right? Which is all about receiving, which is about, you know, it's receptive energy, and it is loving, and it is sitting in our heart space, and, you know, it is also giving and nurturing. But it's being able to receive that from others as well. Jupiter and Libra. What I feel here is happening, and what would help is that you're more open with people about what you need. It's kind of like, so there's a lot growing in your relationships that reflect balance. You know, sometimes we like to talk about what people didn't show up for us or people didn't do for us, but did we let them know? You know, I think we just expect it to be understood. But if we've created a dynamic where we're the doer, how do people know what we need? Just saying, but there is a big growth energy, and Jupiter is really helping you to create balanced relationships by sitting you in your divine feminine. And your divine feminine is going to let people know, this is what I need. And you could, you know, there could be a lot of feelings, so because we are masculine people. We do. And, you know, right now, it's not about that. It's about being able to receive. And it's something we've been working on for some time. So, underneath the deck was interesting. Because the Two of Pentacles is here with the Nine of Wands, the Page of Wands, the Three of Wands. Yes. You know, it's also, you know, the Nine of Wands is exactly what I'm talking about. It is that lone wolf energy. It is reflecting, healing, and, you know, you're coming out of this licking your wounds kind of thing, because the more you sit in Nine of Wands energy, the more it makes you indecisive about taking chances. So it's kind of like we want this new life, but if we want it, we're going to have to do something different. We're going to have to do something. We can't sit on the fence anymore. We can't look at what if. We can't, you know, just hold back. It's about not holding back anymore. Which I know, it's strange that I'd be telling Sagittarius this, you know, but sometimes we kind of get in survival mode. You know, we do. And I feel like the energy is kind of telling you, Sag, it's time for you to get out of that, even if you don't know how everything's going to happen. You know, I was looking at the numbers here too. You got 222 again, which can be representative of partnerships coming together. Definitely paths coming together. You know, they are the starts of our journeys, and it feels like the threes are starting. So you are initiating the work. Okay, definitely. The chapter that's closing, though, is the Queen of Swords, the Ten of Swords, and the Three of Pentacles. I mean, there may have been... I just feel like this lone wolf energy is ending for you, Sag. I feel like it's ending. I feel like you're letting other people do things that, you know, because there's a cooperative energy here. Maybe you're even realizing that, you know, it doesn't, like, because the Queen of Swords is very understanding, right? And you've been very understanding of people, and you've kind of set yourself apart from people. And it hurts you. It does. Because it kind of keeps you alone. I mean, independence is great, but not if it's hurting you. And with the Ten of Swords, you know, maybe for a while you felt like you had to be by yourself. You had to, you know, maybe even understand yourself and what you wanted, you know. And I do feel like you needed a time of detachment, perhaps, but it does feel like that's coming to an end. It does feel like you are more in this mode of working together with others. You know, I do think, though, maybe with relationships, you know, because the Three of Pentacles can talk about third-party stuff, and especially with the Ten of Swords, if you have been in that kind of situation, you're going to be setting yourself free from that. You're going to be speaking your mind. But I do largely feel like this has a lot to do with fear, perhaps, fear of being hurt, you know, fear of letting people in. You know, I feel like that's a chapter that's closing for you. You know, what's transforming is the Hangman, the Five of Pentacles. Ooh, you might be dealing with some abandonment wound issues. The Moon and the Four of Cups. Yeah, you're really reflective. And maybe even thinking differently about that. You know, about the times that you've been hurt, about the times you have felt abandoned. Because what you're, yeah, like by staying away or keeping yourself separate from others, it does keep you from getting hurt, but it also keeps everything out. It keeps everything out, and it's just a part of life. And now maybe you will be able to see all the opportunities that are available to you with others. It's always a chance. It's always a chance, but I do feel like you will really be doing some work towards abandonment issues and understanding that that is the fear. That is the fear, Sagittarius. You know, fear that you'll be left, or everybody leaves, or, yeah, that's the fear, Sag. And that is the one thing that is transforming for you. That is part of the shadow work for you during this period. I love it. And maybe that's how you let people in. You let people hurt you because you're ending this. Tens are endings. Your advice from the moon is the Two of Swords, the Two of Wands, the Devil. Okay. There's that Capricorn. Capricorn really wants you to stop. Like the Two of Swords is being of two minds of in something, and it does, so kind of is the Two of Pentacles, right? It's that crossroads where we don't do something. We just kind of go back and forth, or just, there's, with the Two of Wands, it's telling you, Sag, that it's time to get out of this crossroads. Here's the Devil. You've been in this crossroads for too long. Okay, so, maybe it's telling you to pick a side, right? Pick a side and do something. Because, the Two of Wands kind of says that either way you go, you'll win. You can't lose here, but maybe you keep thinking that you can. And it's what keeps you from actually taking action. Wait, what? Sagittarius. Knight of Cups is on the bottom with the Page of Cups. The Ten of Wands. Yeah, the Hierophant. The Death card. Wow. So there definitely could be new relationships, new love, new roads, new experiences that, the Knight of Cups is like the dream come true. They're very happy. It's new beginnings that feel good. And wow, there's all your 10 showing up is letting go of pain, letting go of past baggage, specifically in regards to the Hierophant, maybe even how you see it, how you see committed relationships or committed past, or even always being the teacher, Sag. Always being the teacher. I just kind of feel like you, especially with the Six of Wands and the Strength card here, I feel like you've been the people that people lean on. And you're allowing yourself to lean on other people. So I think actually you're becoming the student. That's kind of the student and the teacher, if you ask me. I like it. I mean, I have that energy too. And it's... Let's see what else is here. Yeah, look, the Sun, Capricorn. yeah, it's just telling you your light has helped so many people, and you can rest now, Sag. You can rest. And I do feel like a lot of the energy has been telling us to rest, and a lot of, even some of the things that have been like my health issues, I think we've all been kind of led to getting some rest, but in a really deep sort of way, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, Sagittarius, so let's get what you're learning. So definitely when the shadow comes up, and it will, because Pluto has that way about it, don't ignore it. Don't ignore it. Like, even write down what you're feeling at the moment, because there are no coincidences, Sagittarius. And as we know, as Sagittarians, everything has meaning. Okay. It comes with time and practice. Okay. Confidence. Notice that's also a 5, which talks about change. Okay, letting go. Being honest with yourself about what needs to balance out. Justice is coming, which, I mean, is about you receiving reward. But I feel like a lot of this is about balance and just knowing that you can be confident about letting something go, whatever you need to let go, you know, in order for balance to come into your life, in your relationships. Yeah. Okay, Sagittarius, that's what I got for you. I hope it really helps. Toodles.